There are so many things to do in a day. Uh, Take care of business, look after your family, socialize, fulfill other duties towards yourself, the society, other desires to achieve something or follow some hobby. Some days I get very I actually start searching what is the meaning of this life that I'm leading. When I'm doing so many things, I may be doing all of them well and they may be all going good. But okay, what is it that I am about? And this is something that keeps striking me. So, loosely, this is the search for meaning kind of episode. And I am very glad to have a very good friend of mine, Ummeimman, with me. Welcome to the show, Ume.
Thank you, Bunty, for inviting me. I'm
Uh,
honored to be your guest for the second time.
Thank you so much. Uh, your story has always been inspirational in my head. You've had uh, a long run in terms of figuring out who you are about and what do you like to do, and you've had duties galore, and you've been trying to figure out to how to do them well. You also happen to be a teacher, so which I'm sure is a bigger responsibility than many of us realize. Is this something that strikes you? Okay, what am I about at some point of time? And if it does, what do you do with this uncomfortable thought, or is it a comfortable thought?
I think it's a very comfortable thought. Like it most of the time it doesn't strike me. Who am I? Because um, you know my journey. You've
Hmm.
just outlined it loosely, but from me being without an identity to discovering myself and you know, trying to prove myself every day, prove myself to myself, that I'm much more than who I used to be yesterday or day before or a month ago. So it's not a it's not an uncomfortable thought at all. Rather, it's comfortable because the moment I realize that, or the moment I'm able to deduce, I'm much more than a mom. I'm not only a mom. I'm also a teacher. I'm also someone who, like, I've been very lucky, so I've received a lot, but I'm also giving back to everything that matters to me. So I've enjoyed discovering who I am, and I'm still discovering who I am.
So this was my next question. You kind of preempted with that last line. Uh, Unlike other answers that we get in some of the subjects that we pursue, uh, these kind of answers keep shifting because we keep evolving our perspectives, our moods, our opinions, uh, our insights at times that we have uh, no idea where they arrive from, and then suddenly we realize something that we haven't, even if it's an everyday thing that we've been doing for years, and suddenly you find some meaning in them. Uh, how do you accept this change again and again? Because we all have some kind of resistance to change at some point. Uh, and what makes us accept this if we do accept it?
So, see, first of all, uh, change is constant. I think, I don't know who said it, but I know that it has been said. Change is constant, and we are living proof that change is constant. We are not the same person that we used to be, even like as I said, a month ago. So your identity keeps evolving, you keep changing. You just got to accept it. Just, you know, earlier on in our conversation, I think before you started recording, you said that you just go with the flow. So I think I love to go with the flow. I do have expectations for myself, but then there are things that are out of our control, right? So we just got to accept it. Just acceptance, I say, is key.
This
You know,
acceptance comes
if
from
you,
what?
I mean, I really can't say, but I mean, if I give you a very quick answer, it'll just say my mind. The acceptance just comes from within, and there's no other way, right? If you don't accept, you're resisting. You also said that we kind of resist the change. So why resist the change? I mean, you have to keep evolving, you have to keep changing, and life is changing all around us. Look at the times when we did not have AI, and now that we have AI, we had to accept it.
Yeah.
So it's just that.
Um, okay, it's easier said than done.
You know,
And,
like
yeah, please.
I just kind of think that sometimes it's nice not to dig too deep. You know, sometimes, like you said, from where does this acceptance come? And for me, the only, I wanted to give you a deeper answer, but the only thing that came to me was my brain.
Yes. Yes.
It's just from within. I just know I have to do it. I have to accept it. So,
Wonderful. This leads me to a favorite question of mine, or favorite,
mhm.
more than a question. It's something that I used to have as an opinion about us. When there are a lot of friends who come to me for advice, maybe because of the podcast, they think I may be able to tell them something, or my own journey has been a little testing and challenging, so they think I will understand. Uh, I
But you
find
are, but you are excellent with advice, and I know that. I've called you a couple of times, and I've been very happy with whatever advice I've received from
uh,
you.
oh, it's all the genius of your acceptance. Let's just put it that way.
No, but it totally made sense.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, I want to bring up one thing that I used to use this line very often that, say for example, whatever you are 45 kilos, 40 kilos, whatever your weight is, and you have to carry two bags of 10 kilos. So you'll figure out, okay, I'll push myself, and for the next 10 steps, I can carry them. But at some point, you know, okay, this is not, this is much more than I can handle. I need to stop. I need to either take one before the other or figure out how to ask for help. And when we are carrying all this physical weight, we are very clear that there is a limitation to my shoulder, to my elbow, to my wrist, to my hand, to my capabilities. But when it comes to thinking and overthinking, we forget that there is a barrier there also. Beyond a point, we cannot overthink, and uh, like you said, let's not dig too deep in everything. So that does not mean that you are being irresponsible, which is a fear that many of us have. So what do you mean? How do I shut off my brain? You're not supposed to shut down thoughts. They cannot be, but you have to allow them to come and go because that is just one more fear. So initially in my podcast, there have been at least one or two podcasts where post the recording lights have gone off, and I have no clue whether the processing of the recording would finish in time for the computer to have a recording at all. And I have lost one of the better episodes that I've had was completely lost. And I had to call up and apologize. There was no other thing that I could do with it. And I'm doing this week after week, and at this point, I'm very comfortable. Anything happens with the episode, I don't have any handle on it. I just call up and say, I'm sorry, this is what has happened. But otherwise, at a beginning stage of these things, I used to be very careful and try to control things so that oh, I have got you after 2 weeks and now you've just given 1 hour of your time. What can I do about it? Actually, I can't do anything about it. So the space in the mind is acceptance sometimes because of the pressure of what has happened, and sometimes it is learnings over a period of years. I think the resistance kind of like the glaciers melt, and you know, okay, okay, at some point, this also resistance will stay for a while, and then you will see, okay. One interesting thing that I want to ask you is there are still times when we are stubborn. I find this in myself, or angry, or absolutely resistant to what is happening, and especially with people close to us. Most times it's the family and the closest friends that we have our best fights with. And it would be about everyday things. I mean, when you actually look at the topic, this is something that you would let a stranger go away scot free. But here you
Right.
want to fight because you want to win that argument or debate or whatever it is.
Hmm.
What makes us stubborn? If you cannot tell me where is the letting go happening, can you tell me where does the stubbornness come from? What happens to us in that moment? Where does the wisdom go away?
I think it's I think that we become stubborn about particular things when we because we have those expectations from a person.
Okay.
So just a tiny example, like I want my kids to go to bed at 9:30, and every day they resist, but every day I know they'll go to bed by 9:45, 10 o'clock max. But I'm going on and on and on about a particular thing. Like you have to be in your bed at 9:30. Why not 9:30? It has to be at 9:30 because I need to sleep by 9:30. So my kids tell me, Mama, we are not buttons. Okay, off and we are flat,
Yeah.
you know? So I think this was a very tiny and mundane thing. If you um, liken it to something deeper, it's just the expectation. Like I wouldn't expect a stranger to obey me, right? I wouldn't expect a stranger to understand me. That need to be understood, our own expectations. I think that's what makes this up, this stubbornness, instead
Mhm.
of the letting go. Now I've started letting go. This is a true mundane experience in my daily life, except it's not 9:30, it's 8:30. 8:30 is when I tell my kids, I do not want to see you all, I need to go to bed.
This is highly ambitious as an idea. You know, the thought of it puts fear of God in my heart. Okay, this is
So
possible.
they at 8:30 they know that okay, mama is going to become a vicious person now. Very vicious.
Wonderful. Uh, Another thought that just struck me when you were answering this, not really linked to this question.
Ah,
Uh, by the word meaning itself, we understand there is a certain depth to it, uh, not just meaning of words or sentences, but when you're talking about meaning of life, because effectively it means uh, uh, I used to collect quotes once upon a time. I still share them on my WhatsApp or
I love to see those
uh,
status updates. Yeah.
yes. But earlier I used to, obviously there was no mobile phone and all, and I used to have a diary where I used to collect them, and so there was, uh,
I did that too. I
uh,
did that too.
yeah, I think
But
all
then there
right.
were screenshots and I have all of them screenshotted.
Yes. All writers, I guess, at some point have been doing that because it's a love of words and deeper meanings. So, one particular, I don't remember it verbatim, but the idea was uh, everyone needs to consider what kind of mourners are they collecting at their death. And
Okay.
that had impacted me a great deal for the longest time. Now I have no such idea. I'm saying they better forget me immediately the moment I am gone. But at that point, I was very ambitious about this thing. Okay, what kind of people would come? What would they be talking? Would they say the good things? Uh, I go to funerals, and for many years, people talk about the most mundane things. Business कैसा चल रहा है? बहुत दिन से दिखा नहीं. चल इसके बाद चाय पीते हैं. And I'm like, वो मर गया है यार कोई, but there is no such thing. माने people are quite casual except for the immediate family and a couple of friends perhaps.
Hmm.
So when we talk about meaning, we also try to deepen it, and so my question comes from life itself has this 8:30 सोए कि नहीं, खाना खाया कि नहीं, आज पेट खराब है तो दवाई लिया क्या, डॉक्टर से मिले क्या. We have these really mundane things that our life is about.
Hmm.
So how do you invest it with something greater than ourselves? If at all anything like this exists. Is there any such thought?
No, I would like you to reframe it to probably explain it to me in a simpler way.
Me?
Like,
I need
yeah,
to
yeah,
explain
yeah.
it. So so when I read about these guys whose quotes I collected, for example, Muhammad Ali,
Hmm.
Rabindranath Tagore, and
Yeah.
uh, Voltaire, anyone, uh, there is so much depth of thought in like three
Correct.
lines or four lines. It's so concise and yet it contains meanings like layers and layers of meanings that I can go
Correct.
back to
Yeah,
again
and
and
we
again.
can interpret it however we want. Yeah.
Yeah, and in my mind they were my brothers in arms kind of thing. कि I didn't belong to my friends and family as much I belong to them. Like these are my
Hmm.
brothers. Someday I will also be worthy of at least following this path. One doesn't. I never saw myself as being among them, but I thought all the greats are people who have walked the path before us in a better manner, and we are learning, looking at their footsteps, and figuring out, okay, this is a path. How to make my life better. Meanwhile, I'm worried about electricity bill आने वाला है, ये EMI भरना
Right.
है, and भाई का पगार नहीं दिया है, and मतलब these are such mundane things. They never quoted about these things. So how
Hmm.
do you this there is a gap in thought if you realize.
Hmm.
And when we are searching for meaning, we don't search for के I will be the मतलब
Okay, let's search for meaning.
हाँ. So where
Yeah.
does this stature of that thought and my real life, uh, how do you bridge this gap? How do you
Okay, now I got it. I got it.
please? Yeah.
So, how do I unite that mundane life, filled with the दूध
Everydayness.
लाना है, yeah, the everydayness, with greater thought.
Yeah.
So, let's put it like this, that there's a big puzzle and there are parts of a puzzle, right?
Okay.
So it's only when the parts you have to fix smaller parts together in order to have that great puzzle coming together, right? So life is, according to me, life is that, whatever I do, the one thing I've tried is do it with love. Okay, so I do whatever I do. I know that that thought that you only live once. And when I thought about my death also. I said that when I die, I don't want to have any regrets ever. So be it the everydayness, the the part about asking my kids again and again कि खाना was the food enough for you at school, or these are tiny things, these are very mundane things, but when you look at it in a big way, whatever we do for our kids, whatever we do for the, I mean, our lives are constitute all those important people, right? So, how much you give to them, how well you live with them, how happy you keep them, and how they respond to you. All that makes up that big puzzle, according to me. And in that, you know, that once you start receiving and you feel so happy, like I am a very happy person, and I've realized that happiness is only what you make of it. Like I can choose to be happy in this moment or I can choose to be sad in this moment. Now, if I choose to be miserable, I'm not going to score brownie points with God. Okay, so I choose to be happy. God is not going to give me medals for crying.
Hmm.
So I choose to be happy. I choose to live my life, whatever I do. Be it some project in school, whatever I do, be it teaching a class. I give it my 100%. I know I'm super happy with whatever I'm doing, and I think how fulfilled I am makes that, that big puzzle come together. And when I look at that puzzle, which is my life, I think I'm pretty happy with it. It's how happy you are in the end. So far, it's about the evolving, the fact that I've changed so much and all of that. And um, and then of course, yeah, it's all that big puzzle coming together and making you happy in the end. Okay, if there's also one more thing. Every moment you live, you ask yourself, have I given it my 100%? Do I, not at the cost of myself, not at the cost of making me upset or saddening me in any way, but have I given it my 100%? Am I happy, truly happy with whatever I have done today? So I guess that's it for
I
me.
have, well,
i hope I hope I answered you
no, no, I'm
in
going
the
to
same
poke a hole
context
in,
you
I'm
asked
going to
me.
poke a pin in your answer a bit. Uh,
Tell me.
so when sadness really strikes, there are things that happen that are you can't do much about. And there are days when you realize your mood is off, you don't even know sometimes why. Uh, there might be things that are going against what you expected, no matter how letting go keeps on happening in your life and you've chosen to be happy. What I like about your answer is that this is a choice. This is not understood by a lot of people. Uh, how act in a certain manner is a choice. Even if I am defensive, even if I am not reacting, the choice is internal. It's really not external. You can't do. So if you and I have had a fight, and I keep worrying about why are you having a fight with me? Why don't you understand? And I like you so much. You have to understand. Our rapport means such a lot. But I can't get into your mind and solve it. I just need to solve my mind and my problem, and my effort should be in calming down myself so that it becomes easier for you to accept at some point. So my question to you is, what happens when real sadness strikes? Because on the day that there is a bit of expectation, okay, okay, we have a rapport and please understand today because I am feeling the need to have a good conversation with you, but we are only fighting about something that happened, whatever it would be. So in that sadness, how do you choose to be happy? I want to know your internal mechanism for it.
Okay, so see, real sadness when it strikes, it does happen to me. Just human after all. So, in spite of the fact that I do know that happiness is something that's internal, you choose to be happy or you choose to be sad.
Hmm.
But then there are times when you are either remorseful or you're miserable or you're agonized because something is not working in your favor or something like that. I think it is important to feel that and then also know at the same time that this is also a moment, like time has passed. This will be carried away with time and it will pass and something else will come in. There are a lot of things that I have learned, post my marriage ending.
Okay.
So this is what I've learned, that you can't sit with it.
Wonderful.
Yeah. You have to choose to feel. You have to feel it. You have to feel it. It is valid for you to feel it. And then you need to let it go, because something else will come. You have to be real on that also, because you also got to reflect on past situations. There were times, there's this wonderful quote that be grateful for the things you have, because there were days when you cried and prayed for these same things. There's some quote like that,
Yes, yes.
right? So there are so many things that a person may have achieved, and he may have prayed for those things, and those things may have not come to him at that particular time, but in due time he did wind up receiving them. So if only we just keep that in our minds when we are truly, truly sad, that okay, this is also one of those moments when I think I'm not receiving this, but it may come to me in the future. So, chane do.
Hmm. If I'm reminded of the Khalil Gibran quote. He says, "Don't say I have found the truth. Always keep in mind that I have found a truth." And so, while the truth of sadness in that moment may be real, but like you said, one has to understand that this is transitory and it's just there for a little while. Then this too will pass at some point when the time comes. One cannot put a figure to it that okay, it will go away in an hour or a day or 2 days or 1 month.
Absolutely.
Uh,
And then, we also, of course, our personal religious beliefs.
hmm.
I like all of us. There's one God. We may all pray to him in our own ways, but there's something called due time. If you believe in that, then
I love the phrase.
yeah, in due time.
Yeah,
I use it a lot when I write.
and yeah, my question is coming there. You have this uncanny ability in this interview to reach the next question with the last line of your earlier answer. Uh, so you've been a writer for a long time, uh,
Mm-hmm.
at least since I have known you, and I've been reading your stuff, and uh, you used to post a lot on social media. So now this is a mixed question in that sense. So as a communicator of sorts, whether poetry or prose or a point of view, well written, badly written, that doesn't matter. It's just that you want to express yourself in that moment. Social media has given us a very often a good platform. Right now it is quite complicated and complex, but earlier it was just okay, this is my page, I can make it however I want it, and this is what I want to say about myself, my thoughts, my ideals.
Hmm.
From there, there was a glamour attached to it because the world now knows that I am. Matlab, you are a celebrity of your own page. Let me just put it
Right.
very. Uh,
Yes.
there was a ego to it. There is a. I've known of people that I look up to, and when people came with a contrarian view on their walls, they said, "Okay, you can do this on your wall. Stop writing on my wall," and those kind of things happen. Um From there, you have become quieter as a person, whatever little bit. Now, this is all social media expressions that I'm referring to because we don't talk that often. It's just that whatever shows up and whatever little bit we chat on and off. So there is a expressive part of you, there is a private part of you, which you've chosen over and over now to become a little more closer to yourself. The more happier you are, I think the lesser expressive you've been comparatively. I'm sure you may be writing or not, whatever you said that you're writing for yourself, but you don't post anymore. Not as often, obviously.
Not as often. I don't get the time.
Huh. So is it only a question of time or is it something that internally you are?
No, I would love to post. I would love to post. I used to enjoy Instagram because it's so much fun. See, for me, I love writing. So whether it's good or whether it's bad, I know I just want to post and get myself out there. And I used to enjoy the interactions. I had a nice community of people with whom I interacted, and I would read out their poetry, they'd do mine. And I used to create reels, spoken word reels, and stuff. But it's only a question of time, actually, only time. Because Instagram requires you, if you want to, like, if you're posting your content, you want it to be seen, right? You don't want to get lost. And when you do get lost, when you don't promote your own content, there are a lot of people who plagiarize. And I'm not happy with that because I'm very possessive about my work.
Hmm.
So, so it's just time.
Yeah, no, you punctured my question. I need to think of a new one.
Again.
No, this time you punctured my question. uh, so when we are talking about the meaning and the depth and things like those, while
Hmm.
those are heavy sounding words and heavy sounding concepts, uh, I find most times when I'm very much at peace with myself, in that moment, mm, it's so easygoing. It's almost kiddish. I mean, there is a glee about the world as it is, and I am as it is. It doesn't really matter. I don't want to change a single thing.
Hmm.
And for want of a better term, I'll use the word grace at this point. So it is like grace, and you're just there with that whole thing. Is there something that we can do to reach that point? Have you experienced some such thing? Or is there nothing that matlab, you can't bring it on? It happens when it happens.
So over here, you're just talking about the time when you are just being, right?
Yeah.
When a person can just be.
Yes.
So, see, according to me, uh, with the life that I'm leading, where I'm continuously busy with some or the other task, I can't devote a particular hour in a day for just me, where I can completely be as real as possible. First of all, I try not to be fake. So I know I'm true to myself. And that's most of the time. There are very rare chances where I'll ever be fake. But that part where you get to, when you just want to be, so that's, I I think, when I have the time, especially, like an hour before bed, to just lie down and entertain my thoughts or do the things that I most love. Like, I either write or I read, the simplest things. That's where I feel I can really be and be free. That's it. Probably watch a movie, catch a movie on Netflix, something like that. Is that really what you were asking?
Um, you've reached 50% of the answer, so let me push that. Because you added Netflix, so the question now deepens itself.
Hmm.
Netflix by itself, I find, is a distraction to me when I'm. Even a book is perhaps to some extent. Entertain my thoughts, I do not know the expression, but just being observant of. Actually, it's a sense of being. It's not about what you're doing. So, I'll give you an example. Very often, people who call up sometimes for help, and so I ask them, "Where are you right now?" And then they will give me some mind space answer. Okay, right now I'm in a good space, bad space. No, no, no. Where are you right now? It takes them
Physically.
3 or 4 times to get. No, I'm. Are you standing or sitting? Oh, I'm sitting. Oh, what is the pressure on your leg or your bum or your feet or your hand? Uh, and then they suddenly realize, oh, you are in your body, because your body is here. and we are not here itself, so then where can you be? And that becomes a surprising answer to a lot of people, but something that needs to be practiced because many years back I had read an interview of Shah Rukh Khan, and Shah Rukh Khan was on his way up and fairly young and very cocky, very confident. So, but the interview ended with whoever had taken the interview had written, uh, "So do you sleep well or something?" So he says, "No, I can't sleep. I'm up till very late in the night, around 4 or 5. I go off to sleep. I just need 1 or 2 hours sleep, and I'm up again quickly."
Wow.
Uh, and he said, "Because uh, I can't be alone," something like that. And the article ended with कि the whole world wants to be with Shah Rukh Khan, but Shah Rukh Khan doesn't want to be with Shah Rukh Khan.
Yes.
And that thing had struck me very strongly because as a person, I always found him, he was cocky, but he was intelligent, so there was a charm and lovability to him. It still is there very often. And yet he's not comfortable with himself was something that hit me very hard. Okay, here is a person who's got it all in a way that a lot of people aspire for. Now the sense of being is exactly opposite of that. So you may not have anything at all, but you are comfortable being who you are. And
Yes.
then you can be having your dinner, making the dinner, or be with friends, or they are all talking and you're just watching them with your family. There are times in your family when you have gone out for a dinner and you just suddenly realize that everybody else is having a good time and you come to a point where you're just watching them being happy and you are comfortable with it. So coming from there, so my
Yeah.
question to you is that kind of being.
Oh, so yeah, like you want to know if I am comfortable with my being.
Yes, yes.
Very comfortable. Very comfortable with my being. I love whether I'm alone or whether I'm with people, I do manage to make time to visit myself because I'm happy with who I am. I'm really and truly Bundy, like as I told you, the busy schedule that I have. So there's no time that I can make for myself like that. But what I can do is live internally, you know, like live internally. Even if I'm cooking, I can just be by myself and I'm like, okay, I like this version of me. I like this also, you know.
Like you.
I'm happy being me. Very happy being me.
Wonderful. I
Yeah,
remember.
and that again comes from acceptance. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
And also that if I want to change something about myself, it is it is in my power,
it is.
whether I want to or not.
More power to you, more power to you.
Thank you. More power to you also.
Thank you. Uh, I remember many years back there used to be a meditation teacher who I was very close to, and once I asked him, I said, "Sir, uh, when I go to my bathroom on my pot, I am the most comfortable, and I feel a huge worldly love for everyone. Matlab, there is nothing, and is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?" And it is about an aspect of meditation where you're sharing the blessings of who you are or your merits or whatever it is. And I told him, "Sir, I feel the most there, but I am confused whether to. I am asking you openly whether it's a good thing or a bad thing because the place is a loo. Finally, I can't say anything." And he said, "Are you are living in the heavenly realm. What's the problem? How does it matter where you are? And if you feel like sharing the love or blessing the world or whatever it is, then it's fine. I mean, it's perfect." And that kind of calmed me down in terms of it. So obviously, I become a little more complex. I am trying to simplify, but the moment the mind grasps that idea, then it becomes a very strong idea. Then things start happening. Letting go is the It's both a lovely challenge and sometimes very exasperating that, okay, I'm trying to be peaceful, but there is no such thing. You are peaceful when you accept that you are not at peace at times.
True, true.
Uh, I'm loving this conversation that we are having because these are little to do things on an everyday basis rather than, uh, like I said, some great grand meaning that you're going to suddenly find one day. Okay, it is about those pieces of life, and uh, well, if we are living them, then that is life. There is no imaginary life. Whatever we may think or imagine or go back to the past, those are memories and imaginative futures. You can only live now when you are cutting the vegetables and being happy with yourself. You can't do much about it. And if you don't pay
Absolutely.
attention, I have often realized you cut your fingers on Saturdays. I have realized that if you don't pay attention, it's not a good thing not to be in the moment, especially when you have sharp objects in your hands. Uh,
Right.
how do, so one last question. This self acceptance that you've been talking about, how does it translate into your relationships? Has there been any meaningful change that has come, your immediate family, your immediate friends, and how do they see you, your students, people whom you meet regularly? Do they also see a change, or is it only in your mind?
Wow. I wish they could tell me that. This is a feedback question that you should be asking them. Um, so see, I told you I'm a happy person. When I go to school, my students only know that version of me, the happy teacher. Today I had a minor headache and I went to school. I knew my students would be missing me. As soon as I walked into the class, they all started hooting. Ma'am aa gayi, ma'am aa gayi, like ma'am has come. And I was like, no one's troubling you here. There was a colleague sitting and waiting for me in class, and she's a very cool colleague. She's an awesome person. And I was like, you have such an awesome person sitting in your class who's not going to tell you anything, and you and you're screaming for me. So they know that happy person. They know I have my likes and dislikes, but otherwise they see a happy person. So I guess that also comes from accepting. See, now since we are talking about my school, I accept that 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds are noisy, mischievous. What can I do about it? And they're kids after all. If they're not naughty and if they're not mischievous, who's going to be mischievous and naughty? And if they don't come to school and they don't wind up enjoying themselves, then what's the purpose? Because school is, I understand, let's say 50% for learning and 50% to realize, to live in the little world for children. School is that little world for children. So if they don't learn to socialize, if they don't learn things like diplomacy while interacting with each other, learn to get along, all of that. So that's, they know me. So that, I mean, I accept it, like whatever they are, I accept it. So because I accept it, they get to see a happy teacher. Then with relation to my parents, my brothers, my sisters, I think you need to ask them for feedback. But I know, um, like, I've tried my level best. I know my parents' flaws. There have been times when, my parents, my brothers, they all know my flaws. I know their flaws. And my kids, my kids know my flaws the best. They may or may not give you such good feedback.
Uh,
So I've tried, I do try. I accept my children how they are. I accept people for what they are, my brothers, my sisters, my parents, my friends, for whatever they are. And I try my level best to be a better person for them. But then, if at all there is something that I react to, I just attribute it to it's me and I'm just human. You know, there are those times when we flaw. I can't be picture perfect.
hmm. Uh, I have a thing for that. I personally think being human is the better place to be always. And uh, flaws are just flaws. They are neither are. These are just characteristics. Sometimes we are good,
Yes.
sometimes we are bad, sometimes we are angry, sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are
Yes,
sad.
it's just like I mean I'm not a saint, like if I were, I mean that would be amazing, but I'm no saint over here. So when sometimes flaws also make you lovable, that's the thing.
Yeah, our flaws
I mean,
definitely do.
without them, there is no characteristics in the person.
Yes, yes. Uh, this has been such a engaging chat. While it's been quite deep, but it's been also very light and happy for the sense of being you brought to it. I am so
Thank you
glad that
so
we spoke
much.
today, and
Thank you
I
so
shall see
much.
you soon.
Thank you so much, Bunty, for having me on your podcast. I'm really looking forward to another one. I hope soon.
Yes,
And
we
it
shall
was
talk.
lovely talking with you.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Bunty. Bye bye.
Bye.